Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon or Rising. It's the weekly reading for the week of September the 30th to October the 6th. Your cards this week, Gemini, we have the Keepers of the Earth Oracle card. We have the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Hermit, Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. So lots of Cups energy here for you, Gemini, as we head into Libra season. So this reading, has a lot to do with your emotional state. Could connect to love, those feelings of sort of heart-centered emotion. So let's see how that unfolds throughout your reading. Now, I'll just start off by reading out your Oracle card here, Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. You are so supported. You do not stand alone. You have a magnificent team of helpers, both in this world and of the earth, who are ready to help you every step of the way. Call upon them for assistance. They are here to help. The Keepers of the Earth acknowledge the work that you have done already, and you are ready to work through you. They bow at your feet and thank you for wanting to stand for them, to devote your life to protecting the earth in your unique way. So you have strong guidance as you move through this week, Gemini, on the earthly plane as well as in the spiritual plane. So, don't, always reach out for help, ask your spirit team, and even the people around you, friends and family. Okay, let's start here in the recent past. We're going to start with the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, okay. So, recent past. We see somebody here in the Five of Cups who is very much focused on losses or things that have not turned out the way that they anticipated or expected or hoped. This person here is firmly focused on these three overturned cups, of which the contents has already, spoiled. It's already soaked into this earth. It's already gone, and there's no way of getting that back. It's a general reading, difficult to say what it is, but for some it could be a relationship you were invested in, and you didn't feel like you were getting the returns that you wanted. You put a lot of time, energy and effort into it, but yeah, it just didn't pan out, and you really felt like that time and energy was sort of a waste of time. Essentially, could be a job, could be in the business sector, a family or friend relationship that it stopped progressing. It's that kind of energy. But, the message with the Five of Cups is that, by focusing on the past and focusing on the grief, the hurts we might have experienced in these kind of situations, we really are sort of keeping stuck or, stuck in negativity, stuck in the past, stuck in almost like a depression or anxiety some of you may have been feeling over the situation. And through focusing on the past and facing that direction, what we're really missing is the two opportunities here. That metaphorically two, it could be a new partner that was ready to come in for you, but you weren't open to it. Could be the perfect role, job situation, but you're too busy focusing on the loss, so the gain can't come in. And on an energetic perspective, because as you might know by now, I'm really into this. When we're still energetically attached to a situation, we don't create the space, the clearing for other things to come in, because we're too busy being attached to this. And also through being attached to that situation of the past and the negativity, you can also attract in other experiences or people that are on that same frequency. So it's very important that we release. Now, I feel like some of you may have already done that, or at least turned your back on the situation and kind of got ready to think, to say, what, I'm actually going to walk away from this job, this relationship, this person, this situation. Some of you may be in the process of doing this now, or some of you may be about to, because, timing is very fluid in these readings. I think you got to the point where you realize that the situation wasn't fulfilling you anymore, and there was one fundamental, piece missing. It might have been fulfilling for a certain amount of time. We have the Eight of Cups here, but I feel like as it kind of went along and progressed, you realized that, well, there was one of your non-negotiables missing. So if you're in a relationship, maybe you didn't have that kind of intellectual connection that you needed. Maybe your partner didn't have the same values around something important like finances. So either way, I think you've got to the point where it's like, well, I really want something greater for myself. I really desire a Nine or Ten of Cups reality, and you've decided to turn your back on it. You've had that kind of awakening through tuning into your intuition, and you're deciding to hit the tracks and walk out from that situation. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so focus energies this week, we have the Hermit and the Page of Swords. Yeah, so Hermit energy, I feel like maybe after leaving this situation here, there may have been a period where you've gone through a sort of a deeper self-reflection, introspective time, trying to figure out, what happened in that situation, figuring out how to not replicate that situation again in the future, and really figuring out which way you want to move forward in. Because even though you've turned your back and you've begun that journey of walking, there may be many forks in the path and you're wondering which way to go. What I love about this though is you can see in that Five of Cups there's a person that's really shrouded in a black cloak of, say, negativity or grief or past. Here we have the Hermit, and he's shrouded in this light grey. It's like, that shifting of energy towards a lighter vibration, towards, starting to awaken to your own inner truths and your own inner wisdom. And that is the key for, moving on in a positive direction that's much more aligned with your higher self. The Hermit can talk about awakening different, spiritual aspects within yourself. Sometimes after we go through a period of loss, of grief, or releasing someone or a person situation, we can actually, we evolve because we get that growth, and that can lead to that sort of sense of spiritual awakening as well. The Hermit links to the Star card here. We have the really small star in the lantern. So it's sort of like through going on that inner journey, through beginning to heal and restore, which is what the star energy does, it starts to guide the way for you. It starts to guide. You might only just be able to see this week, the first few steps out that you can kind of shuffle along on your new journey. But as you continue, that star energy in that lantern is going to grow brighter, and that path forward will be revealed more and more. So just, trust your intuition and keep walking in the direction, metaphorically, that you're deeply feeling is the right way for you. What else was I going to say about that star energy? Yeah, okay, so that link to the star energy can also talk about restoring your trust, your hope and faith in universal laws, and understanding that you are guided, you're not on your own in this. So reconnecting, no matter what your belief system is, whatever you feel is guiding you, whether that's God, your spirit guides, your angels, that type of thing, reconnecting with them, asking them for help if you need to, because they are there for you this week. And I feel like, going on that inward journey and that journey of really thinking and piecing together what happened in this past situation so you don't repeat it, there's going to become a pivotal time this week where that wind of change comes in. It's that period of time where you're sort of ready to come back to the world. You're ready to really burst on into that new sense of being here with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords also could be that little aha moment of like you've gone into that Hermit energy to try and figure out the situation, and then you have that sense of awakening, you have that intellectual thought, you have that that thought that moves you or awakens you, and then you realize that you're ready to get back out there in the world again. Because pages can be messengers. It's an intellectual card, it's swords energy, so it could be that insight, that revelation that comes, and it just shifts up your energy, it shifts you a gear, and you're like, right, Hermit phase is over for me, I'm ready to get back out there in the world. I understand now why I entered into that situation in the first place. I know what I learned from it, and I also know why I needed to walk away from it in order to serve my greatest purpose, my highest good, because I know that I'm moving on to something much bigger, much better, and much more aligned with who I truly am. And that's exactly what we see in your future position here, Gemini. Look at this. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. This is that, that guidance that's been leading you towards this. So Queen of Cups energy, I feel like from going on that inner journey, you have, really figured out how to become the master of your own, emotional wealth. It's about becoming secure, grounded, stable again, tuning into that queen energy, that maturity, compassion, all those sort of she is somebody who can sit right on the shoreline of life, with their feet in the emotional waters, and she's unshakable, and she holds her emotions in this gilded cup, and she decides when she lets them out and when she doesn't. So, you may have been in that situation in the past where you were very trapped by those emotions of holding on to the past, of negativity, of grief, of maybe feeling a little bit in the victim mentality. Well, the Queen of Cups is you overcoming all of those things and getting into a position of emotional stability and maturity. So that's what I see here. And from that position, it's an absolutely excellent place to receive love. Because when you have that self-love, when you're in that self-control, that's when things like the Six of Cups can come in. And the Six of Cups can be a beautiful offering of love. Yes, it can be self-love for those of you, already in partnerships. It can be a beautiful friend from the past coming back and reconnecting with them. Can be reconnecting with your inner child, your inner guidance, that kind of thing. But for others of you, this is the promise of a romantic partner that fulfills your needs coming in. It's the promise of the type of relationship that actually has the ability to grow and bloom. It's a really beautiful card, and it's essential to see here in the reading that we're going from a Five of Cups to a Six of Cups. So we have a sense of growth and maturing, and in the Cups energy, which is that highest realm of our emotional centers, and finding things that truly fulfill us. Number 6, it's the number of harmony and growth. You've grown through this situation. You've got the growth, and that now you can invite that sense of harmony into your life. Yeah, beautiful card, that Six of Cups. So we can clearly see that there is a huge light at the end of the tunnel for you, Gemini. Beautiful reading. Yeah, so you might be coming out of a period of darkness. I think you maybe voluntarily decided to move on from that. It's probably not been easy at all. You might have been on the receiving end of somebody leaving you. It's never easy. And it often leaves us with that, that feeling of something missing in our lives. But I think, this week it's time to go inwards, to do some self-discovery. And I think that missing, aha moment, that revelation will come to you. And then you'll realize what you need to do to move forward to this beautiful new reality that's waiting for you. That's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please leave me a comment. Love to know how it's unfolding in your daily life. And keep in mind it's a general reading. It won't resonate for all of you, and I'll be back here for another reading with you next week.